Hey YouTube, this is Beth, and it is the full moon reading for May already. We are using the not Chicoli Oracle. I can't talk. And the New Wave Tarot this month. And with the Chicoli we have, oh, yeah, what you hacking at? What do you feel like you need to hack apart? And how are you hacking it apart? What's threatening you? And are you taking it down with your big old sword like this little girl is, whacking that teddy bear? She's gonna get him. He's down for the count and she's not done with him. How are you using force? And can you think of a better way, whether it's love, compassion, forgiveness, to disengage the energy other than whacking it off? Oftentimes, even though I still use the words cord cutting, I often think of it more as cord dissolving than like hacking it off like she's doing. I try to think of a way, how can I dissolve that cord with compassion, love, and forgiveness as opposed to brutally cutting it off? How can I forgive it to disengage my energy and let go of that cord so it doesn't suck my energy anymore? And that's kind of what the feel is here. How do we have to hack it off? Is that appendage so offensive that we have to take the sword to it? And sometimes the answer might be yes, but other times, how can you be more kind about it? So the next one is the Nine of Swords. Oh, Nine of Wands. I can't read today. Different one, I swear. The word, it was compassion and it was courageous. Nine of Wands. I'm like, wait a minute, those are the eyeliners. That's wands. It happens. Nine of Wands. I love how they use the eyeliners in this one because the 80s was all about some black eyeliner. So, what are you carrying? What needs to just be tidied up and completed? This really has the feel of getting things sorted that you've been sitting on. What have you just kind of been looking at going, I should do that. I should do that. A week later, you should still do it. And then, like a month later, you still need to do it. And you still haven't got it sorted. And it's still on the to-do list. And when you hit that point, I always feel like you have an option. You have a couple options here. You can do it. You can keep it on the list for all eternity. Or you can just stop pretending you're going to do it. And that's what I'm getting from this card is like, what's on that to-do list that we just go, I don't want to do it. It's icky. It's boring. Ugh. And so you just keep transferring it day to day. And 3 months later, 4 months later, 6 months later, still on the list, still not done. How long are you going to hold on to that item you're probably never going to do? That is the feel that I'm getting for the Knight of Wands. And then we move into the Knight of Wands. And, we got this. He's about action. He's like, yeah, really, why do you keep doing this? Why are you putting this on the list again? He wants you to get that done. Do it or delete it. Just don't keep putting it on the list. He's calling for some action and get it done. Ride off in your horsey and have some fun after you do it or delete it. Make the choices. The Knight of Wands encourages us not to keep sitting on that energy of maybe I'll do it tomorrow. I don't want to do it when tomorrow hits. And then really, he wants you to free up that energy of that item and do something else with it. If you're not going to do it, no use keeping it on that list. And so get honest with yourself on that one, because that is really the feel here. And when you get, bring Hacker Girl in with the I don't want to do my list, are you going to just kind of keep, it goes back to that whole energetic thing of cords and things that hold you in place. Is that list, in a way, by moving that same item over and over and over to the next day, is not good energetically in many ways. Because I used to be a great person for massive to-do lists. Oh my God. Complete insanity. Like 30, 40 items on a list for a day. And I started like listening to my colleagues and like they're like, oh yes, I do 1 or 2 big things a day. You know, if they're all small things, it might be 5 things. But it's like there are 2 or 3 big things and that's what they do that day. I'm like, whoa, I've always scheduled. And then I also started looking at what I was transferring each day that didn't get done. And started looking at it, and a lot of those things that got transferred just were not things that really resonated with me and what I was doing. And thus I was never going to do them. So I just started dropping those items. Or I put them on a list to revisit sometimes. But when I started chopping down, got real about what can be done in a day without going insane and working for, you know, a bajillion hours every day, and what to actually transfer over and what to actually delete. When I started moving into that parameter for myself, it freed up a lot of energy. I didn't feel like, oh, I gotta get that done today. Sinking feeling. I got 10 things from yesterday and like 30 things from last week still on the list. Sinking feeling. And that sinking feeling takes a lot of energy out of you to maintain that sinking feeling and just stay there. You know, and so it comes back to Chopper Girl and how you can bring compassion into that chopping instead of just whacking it. How can you dissolve that? And one of the ways is to get real about how much you can do in a day and whether you need to keep it on a list or not. Because, you know, no one wants to keep revisiting that stuff. It's boring. You know, listen to the Knight of Wands. Get it done. Do it or delete it. It's quite simple. Because really the third option is just going to keep you with Chopper Girl energy. Chop, chop. And it's not going to really move until you start making that choice. So start practicing that. See where it goes. I know for me, it really helped create space and ease within my life to be realistic about what I can do in a day and what gets transferred. And if it's been transferred for more than a couple weeks, I really need to reevaluate it. So what's our affirmation card? And let's see if I can read it correctly. Money grows on trees. And this is all about flow and being like celebrating things and realizing that the mindset of a glass half full feels a lot better than the mindset of a glass half empty. Although there is like a psychology thing of like what feels better, opening something or finishing something. So, you know, maybe if you're finishing something person, you know, you may have a different view. But I completely lost the train of thought on that one. Money grows on trees. So I would, what are you doing? How is this applying to your money? That's what I would really look at. What's on your money to-do list that just keeps getting put aside and aside? What are you chopping off on it? But remember, find that flow of celebration, of things finished, a job well done, a penny found, awesome sunsets. All that kind of stuff feeds into this. And the more you see the awesome too, the more you're going to be like, recognize that feeling and realize you want, because it's much more fun to feel the awe and the wonder of life than it is to feel the, oh my God, my to-do list is weighing me down. So really look at how that makes you feel. And money flows on trees for me is also a lot of a gratitude thing of realizing that gratitude can really change that mindset when you need it. Okay. Thank you for watching, and I will see you at the new moon at the end of May. Much love. Bye-bye.